Hello, friends. Good morning. My name is Michael Godfrey, and I'm your friend. Well, I said good morning because in Nigeria it's currently 4 a.m. But for wherever you'll be joining us from, I want to greet you accordingly. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and if it's 9:04 already, will you permit me to say good night? All right. I want to specially welcome you to the special weekly podcast on the keys and the laws of academic excellence. All right, and in the next couple of weeks, in the next 4 5 weeks, I'm going to be teaching you um, on how to set academic goals. All right, setting academic goals is going to be our focus in the next 1 2 3 4 5 weeks, all in the month of January. All right, the keys. The podcast on the keys on the laws of academic excellence will always be recorded, all right, and will be uploaded um, every Friday, all right, will be uploaded every Friday, all right, 8 a.m. So you get to receive a copy of the podcast, all right, an audio of the podcast, right, across the various media platform, all right, on AudioMac, on Spotify, on Facebook, all right, YouTube, and other media platforms, all right. You get a notification, so I do hope you do subscribe, all right. So whenever a podcast is released, you get an instant notification, all right, from me. Okay, probably I should walk you down through, the calendar I have for you, right, in the next couple of weeks. So, in today's section, I'm going to be focusing on, a general introduction, as well as the concept of academic goals, right? And the second week, which is going to be 9th January, I'm going to be sharing with you on the importance of setting academic goals, all right? And the third week, which is now going to be 16th of January 2025. I'm going to be, walking you through how to set, academic goals. All right. And on the fourth week, we'll have a practical section where I'm going to be using some goal setting templates. All right. Some student goal setting templates I have developed over the period of time. This is what I myself had to use while I was in school. Right. And it came really, really handy. And of course, the fifth week being 30th of January. All right. I'm going to be having an open question and answers on how to set goals. So while we go through the section, if for any reason you do have a question, or probably there's an area you really don't understand, or you need me to share more light on, just write to me. All right, you can write to me, and you can write to me on using Arise Michael Godfrey, either on Facebook, all right, or any of the platforms I've just listed out to you: AudioMac, Spotify, and Facebook, YouTube, and all of that. If you want to reach me through mail, all right, I'm going to open up that window so you can also reach me through mail. You can write to me. Well, if you want to do that, you can write to me at arisegodfrey@gmail.com. All right. So I'm very excited, and I can't wait to share with you on how to set academic goals. This is what I really believe. There is no academic growth without academic goal. If you want to grow academically, all right, you want to experience, a consistent lift, a consistent shift in your academic performance, it must be tied to a goal, all right. So my objective is to really help you understand the concept of academic goals, help you understand the importance, and also help you set an academic goal, all right. Well, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you this timeless secret, and I do hope it's going to be improving your academic performance in no small way. This was one of the priceless keys, that helped me improve my academic performance in a small way. All right, helped me overturn my poor performance, which started on the note of 1.78 GPA. All right, with four failed courses among nine. All right, a very very interesting scenario. all right, forfeit courses, among 9 courses which I, registered for that very semester, all right, and a 1.78 GPA. This all happened during my first semester as an undergraduate university, but not too long after that, when I understood, the concept of setting academic goals, and I was able to overturn that very performance from my first semester, right? I think I had a GPA of 4.10 at the second semester of the same section. So I've seen this very key work for me. I've seen this very priceless key work for the global students community, and I think um, it's now right. It now the right time to share with you this key, so it can also impact your academic performance in Newsboro. So I'm so excited to share with you because I know at the end of this very series on setting academic goals, you would have, come to the light of, understanding how to set an academic goal, how you can apply it to your academics, and by extension, how you can help other students come into the light of setting an academic goal because there's no academic growth without academic goals. All right. So, you see, the day I discovered how to set an academic goal from one of my mentors, Sir John Akinola Bellumi, all right, was the day I waved goodbye to poor and average grades forever, and I'm very serious about this. All right. By the way, I spoke to Mr. John yesterday, and he's doing very well in Lagos, very very well, very beautifully. So I discovered how to set academic goals from him. All right. I can still remember how he will come to my place every weekly, every Saturday, help me see how to really distinct myself from every other student by ensuring I have a goal. Right, I had a very relevant academic goal, and he was able to guide me through the process of setting one and through the process of achieving one. So all of my poor grades and average grades from that very moment, I said a very goodbye. I wave a very goodbye to them, and this is what I also want from you. All right, and now this is very important. I finally made a decision to, share with you this very important key for academic excellence. All right. If you had picked a copy of my book on the keys for academic excellence, you would realize that there are about 7 keys. All right. There are about 7 keys which I outlined. All right. Some of the 7 priceless keys I outlined in that very book. All right. That would help any student located anywhere around the world to become, an excellent student. Now, among the keys I shared, the second key, all right, among the 7 keys, all right, was focused on setting academic goals. All right. And now I finally decided to share this very important key with you because I discovered that when it comes to goal setting, all right, there are 4 categories of students. When we talk about the subject of goal setting generally, all right, I have come to the realization that there are 4 categories of students. In other words, what I mean is that, you know, um, all of the students, right, that fit into the context of the global students community are all categorized under one or more of these very classes of students I want to give to you when it comes to goal setting. And as you listen carefully, you would you will come to the understanding of where you fall, all right, and regardless of where you fall, you are able to move on from there quickly, all right, and get to that very zone which I would be taking you to by the help of this teaching section in the next couple of weeks. All right. Now, the first categories of students, like you can see on my screen, all right, the first categories of students are called the no goals. All right, they are called the no goals. So, now, generally speaking, this set of students have no goals, no life goals, no academic goals, no single goal. All right. And they are totally fine with whatever life brings to them. So if life brings to them goodness, They, of course, welcome all of its goodness. If life brings to them, bad circumstances and all of that, they welcome it. All right. If life turn on a bitter note and of course give them ugly experiences, it's all fine with them. They have no goals, generally speaking. They have no life goals. They have no specific goals. All right. They have no general goals. They are totally fine with whatever life brings to them. And now this is a very funny scenario, all right? Because of course, when you don't have a goal, like you will be understanding on the coming weeks, all right? When you don't have a goal, your life in itself don't have a direction. And this is also same for your academics. Without a goal, all right, your academic performance has no direction. All right. So the first category of students has no goals. No goals entirely. There's no goals. All right. They have no goals. All right. So in January, they are in January, of course, we're currently in January, right? So in the month of January, whatever life brings to them is totally fine. Whatever life brings to them in the month of February, good or bad, they're totally fine. Whatever life brings to them in the month of March, whether good, whether bad or ugly, it's all fine with them. All right, those are the first category of students. Now, the second category of students is a little bit different from the first. All right. Now, this set of students do have goals. All right. They do have goals. However, they don't have an academic goals. All right. So, this set of students have financial goals. All right. They have health goals. They have fitness goals. They have hair goals. They have clothing goals. All right. Hangout goals, friendship goals, relationship goals, and all sort of goals you can imagine. All right. However, the only limitation this category of students, all right, or students who falls under these categories have is that they don't have an academic goals. All right, so they are totally fine with whatever grades they come up with, or whatever grades is assigned to them or is graded or given to them in a specific course. If it's a C, they are okay with it, all right. If it's a D, they are okay with it. If it's an E or F, they are totally fine with that. Now, it's okay to have financial goals. It's okay to have spiritual goals. It's definitely okay to have health goals, to have clothing goals, to have good looks goals, all right, to have friendship goals and all sort of goals. It's very okay. It's very beautiful, all right. But I have come to the conclusion that over why spending, a period of 8 years now in the university space, working closely with the students, I finally come to the conclusion that regardless of what goal you have, when you don't have an academic goal, um, it has a way of limiting your academic performance. All right, it has a way of limiting academic performance. And should I also share, you know, during my time with students, all right, during my time with students, whenever I have conferences, or I'm invited to speak in one, I always have this beautiful, interesting conversation, ongoing with, the students. And I tend to realize that whenever I'm discussing with the students and all other areas of their life seems to be going on well, right? Seems to be working out perfectly well, and their academics is not following suit, or not following suit of that same order. They are really distracted. What that means is that regardless of your financial goals and how well you are able to achieve those goals, right? Regardless of your fitness goals, right, regardless of your clothing goals and regardless of whatever goals you might have, if you don't have an academic goals or if you're not growing academically or if for any reason your academic performance is stagnant, there's this ill feeling you would normally have as a student, and this is natural. All right, this is very natural because of course you're here to study. All right, you're here to study, you're here to go through the process of becoming an excellent student who would, at the end of the day be awarded, a certification, as a commendation for your discipline, for the process of which you had to go through. All right. So when you have other areas of your life going on where it's beautiful, but without, your academics following suit, a student can always be sad, or a student will always be sad. All right, so that's the second category of students. No academic goals, have other goals, but no, no academic goals. Now, the third category is very interesting, because my research have shown over time that this is where many students fall. All right. This category represents they don't know how to set academic goals. All right. So my research have shown that, among the many students I've interacted with, I've received questionnaires from, and on the basis of my research, all right, on the basis of the findings from my research, I understand that, most student falls under this very category. They want a better performance. They want a better academic performance. They are always wishing to, achieve a better score, a better grade, a better CGPA, all right? And of course, to, conclude the educational program by, graduating with an excellent class of honor. However, the only limitation this set of students have is that they don't know how to set goals. All right. They are completely ignorant on the process of setting academic goals. And now this can be a very major challenge, all right? This can be a very big challenge for, any student, who is striving for an excellent performance. So the knowledge of how to set an academic goals is usually the challenge for this set of students. So while I speak to you, I need you to, um, be sincere enough. Of course, you don't have to tell me where you are. You don't have to tell me what category you currently fall in. All right, that's completely fine. But the essence of this training, the essence of this teaching section is to really help you identify, what category you fall under, and all right, and see how you can quickly move on from that category to, a much more better category. All right. So the issue with these students is that they don't know how to set goals, and this is the essence of the training, to help you set goals. All right, and finally, the fourth category of students, all right, falls under the have academic goals. Now, this final class of students don't wish for an excellent performance, whereas you have, they don't know how to set goals. Students who don't know how to, who would only wish to achieve a better academic performance, all right? The final class of students, all right, who have an academic goal, all right, or has academic goals, don't just wish for an excellent academic performance. They have a specific goal, and these goals are for, they have a specific score for their, continuous assessment, all right? And I'm going to show you the importance of that in the coming months, all right? I'm going to be sharing with you, the importance of continuous assessment, all right? This set of students have a specific grade for, their specific course. They have a very clear specific GPA per semester, a CGPA per section, and eventually a class of honor at the end of your program. All right, so these are the four categories of students. So now, having showed you these four categories of students, the big question now remains, where do you fall? All right, where do you fall? All right, are you on the class of students who have no goals, no life goals, no specific goals, no general goals, living life on, without an expectation, so to say? Or do you fall under the students who do have goals, but not, but no academic goals, all right? Do have financial goals and all of those goals, but no academic goals. Is that where you fall? All right, or do you fall on, the category that don't know how to set an academic goals, or do you have an academic goal? Now, for whichever area you fall in, the essence of this training is to help you really, really, really come to, that very point where you know how to set goals, and not just knowing how to set goals alone, because it's one thing to set goals, it's another thing to, achieve those goals. So the essence of this training is to really help you. If you find yourself in a point of, you find yourself under the class of no goals, it's fine. All right, this is why I'm teaching you. This is why I'm amplifying my voice. This is why I'm going to be taking my time, in the next couple of weeks to help you find a goal, to help you set a goal. And if for any reason you do have goals, but you don't have an academic goal, all right, this is also why I'm doing this section. is to help you come to the light of, the importance of setting an academic goal so you can equally have one. And if you don't know how to set an academic goal, I would show you how to set one and how to achieve one. And if already you have an academic goals, through my teaching and through the podcast series on how to set goals, you will be well grounded on how to, strive in pursuing and in achieving your goals. All right. So that being said, I want to then show you or help you understand the concept of academic goals. All right. I want to help you understand the concept of academic goals. And now, in explaining the concept of academic goals, I do have two um, two very beautiful definition that I believe will walk you bit by bit in understanding the concept of academic goals. All right. So what you can really see on your screen now, all right, what you can see projected on your screen is the first and the second definition, which I'm going to read out, then I'm going to help you understand by my explanation. All right, so I said academic goals, I put down here academic goals is an important step an excellent student must take in defining, put in brackets, writing and selecting his or her desired academic performance, of which includes scores by CA, all right, grade per course, GPA per semester, CGPA per section, and a class of honor at the end of his or her educational program. Academic goals is an important step and excellent student must take. Now, if you were with me from the start of the podcast, I mentioned to you that, you know, um, in my book on the keys for academic excellence, there are 7 keys. All right. The first key being, correcting your academic mindset. All right. The second key being, setting academic goals. All right. The third key being, the right timing, talking about time management, right? The fourth being, the right eating and reading culture, all right? I also talked about, the importance of CA, all right, and also preparing for exams, the right reading and eating culture and all of that. So about 7 keys, all right, I did explain. But you see, setting an academic goal is an important step an excellent student must take. If you want to experience excellent academic performance, all right, a consistent academic excellence performance, you have to take this very important step. All right, it's an important step. No student who truly desires to achieve an excellent, academic performance will shy away from. It's an important step you must take as an excellent student. All right, and this happens when you are able to clearly define, in writing, all right, or through selection, your desired performance, of which include your scores per CA. All right. And as I did mention, in the coming months from now, I'm going to be sharing with you, on the magic of continuous assessment. Very beautiful discourse. Very beautiful discourse. I can't wait to share. All right. So, the process of setting an academic goal, of course, starts with setting, or, writing or selecting, your score per CA. All right. It continues with your grade per course. All right. It continues with your ability to set a goal for your GPA per semester. All right. And, your CGPA. And by the way, maybe I should talk about, maybe I should explain the meaning of GPA. All right. So GPA means, your grade point average. Your grade point average. And this is calculated, using, your grade per course. For each every course, like I'm going to be showing you through this section, there's whatever grade you have per course, there's a specific point allocated to that. For A, it's 5. For B, it's 4. For C, it's 3. For D, it's 2, and thereabouts. So now, in the calculation of your GPA per semester, which makes up, your grade point average, all of those points are calculated and is shown to you at the end of every semester. All right. While your CGPA happens, it's a combination of your first semester and your second semester, which makes up a section, all right, called CGPA, your cumulative grade point average. All right, so setting an academic goal involves, once more, setting a score per CA, all right, setting a grade goal per course, setting a GPA goal per semester, and setting a CGPA goal per section, and eventually setting a class of honor, all right, or class of degree, if you like, at the end of your educational program. All right. Now, the second definition is also very important, and very useful for our discourse on setting academic goals. All right. You know, some years ago, I think that was 2023, right? 2 years ago. All right. I was invited over, for an academic talk, an academic symposium alongside the then SCG of the then director of academics at the SUG level of National State University, Sir Rotimi, all right, and alongside a first class student in the Department of Biotech, National State University, Mr. Emmanuel Edwin, and of course our host, Mr. Daniel Lamar Kasim. We had that very beautiful discussion, and the subject for that very day was the pathways for achieving academic excellence. And that very day, I was asked a question. All right, I was asked to define, academic excellence, and I told them that academic excellence is a process. Now, the reason I'm sharing with you this story is to help you understand the second definition, which I pen down here to be, an important step on the ladder. All right, academic goal is an important step on the ladder, you know, of academic excellence. Academic goal is an important step on the ladder of academic excellence. An excellent student must climb by, again, we have writing and selecting his or her desired performance, which consists of all of these things I've walked you through in the first definition. But let me talk about the ladder of academic excellence. So back to the story on the symposium, the academic symposium. So having defined the subject of academic excellence to be a process, I needed to help this student community who were really hungry to understand the keys and the laws for academic excellence. All right, I did an illustration to help them better understand what I meant by academic excellence being a process. So I told them to bring me a ladder. All right, so they brought me a ladder, and I have that video. The video has been uploaded to my YouTube channel. You can just go search on the ladder of academic excellence, and you would see the very beautiful video. All right, so I had them place the ladder right in front of the audience. All right, leaning against the wall. All right, and I told the young guy, the young student who assisted me that very day. I'm so glad he complied. I used them for illustration, and I told them that this ladder you see is the ladder of academic excellence. At the top of the ladder, you find 20% of the student community. All right, 20% of the student community who have 80% of all of the excellent grades and all of the excellent performance. All right, and beneath the ladder or around the ladder, you find 80% of the student community who are dragging or, struggling for the remainder 20% of excellent grade and excellent performance, which I consider to be the leftover, the leftover from the excellent students. Now, what made that very excellent student go top of the ladder? It's a process. All right, it's a process, and this process involves many steps on the ladder. So I told the students, take the first step, and I told them this first step you have taken represents the god factor and how it can really play out in your academics. Then I said, take the second step, and he took the second step. All right, and I told him the second step involves correcting your academic mindset. All right, I have a beautiful book coming up. The book is titled How Excellent Students Think. All right, and I'm going to be sharing that. I'm going to be sharing that book, across all of our platform when it's released in the coming month. All right. And I told him this, I told the student community that very day. I said this second step involves correcting your academic mindset because of course, achieving your goals involve mindset. There's an interplay of the mindset. All right. And you can't have a negative mindset, pursuing an excellent academic performance. If you ever come to the realization of that very goal, it will only appear on paper. So you have good grades and good results on paper, but inherently you're not an excellent student. All right. So I told him take the next step, and I said this next step you've taken, which is the third step, all right, represents setting academic goals. So now academic goals is an important step on the ladder, all right, of academic excellence every student must climb. If you desire an excellent academic performance, you must take that step. You must climb on the rung of that ladder. All right. And it involves writing and selecting your desired academic performance, of course, again, which includes, setting a score per CA, all right, a grade per course, a GPA per semester, a CGPA per section, and a class of honor you intend graduating with. So now these are two beautiful definition I would want you to guide yourself up with, because whatever we're going to be discussing in the coming weeks on this very podcast will be built upon this very understanding of how to set an academic goal. All right, it will build upon the concept which I have clearly defined to you. So for today, we're going to stop this section. We're going to stop this podcast section. I don't intend to make this lengthy or too lengthy that you're not able to listen to it on a go or in one sitting. So I'm going to be keeping the record as short as 30 minutes, so you're able to go through it, understand it well, and in the next episode we will now pick it up from there, from where we just concluded. So just in case you have questions, Q&A sections, I accept and welcome all of your questions. And to let you know how important your questions are to me, whatever questions you're going to be asking me will be properly documented. All right, I do have a book coming up probably in 2026, 2027 on the 100 academic excellence questions I have received. Right, and I'm going to be providing answers to that. So when you send me a question, I'm going to be documenting that very question, and I'm going to be responding to the question on the fifth week, or if we do have time in the next section, I could begin with that very question and walk you through it. So you can drop your question on the comment section, or you can forward them to me using any of the handles below. You can reach me on WhatsApp on the phone number displayed on your screen. For the benefit of those who will be listening to this as an audio clip, you can reach me on 07032 300 590. All right. Or you can write to me at arisegodfrey@gmail.com. All right. And the next episode of this very podcast, will be dropped on Friday, 8 a.m. And for your listening pleasure, I really, really want to say thank you so much, and do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. My name is Arise Michael Godfrey, and I am your friend. Until next time, make sure you understand the concept of setting academic goals. Thank you.